These are the measurements for the paper to make a spinner. I know that this paper is 21 centimetres wide, which is 3 lots of 7. So this way it has to be 4 lots of 7. So it has to be 28 centimetres. Now I am going to cut it in half. So it's 7, 7, 7 across, and this way it's 7, 7, 7, 7, but I am going to cut it here. So it could be 3 lots of 7 and 2 lots of 7. Now this just happens to be an A4 piece of paper, but you could do the same with any size piece of paper. So the ratio for each piece is actually 3 to 2, because remember, I'm going to cut this in half. So this is the paper I need, and because my A4 paper was a little bit longer, I cut this off. Now there are videos on how to make it, but just quickly fold in half. If your paper was thick, I guess you could have 1 to 3, but I find this paper you need to double it. Although I guess that's something you could experiment with. Now these two have to end up being the same. So I'm going to fold this corner up so it comes to a point, and this corner down so it comes to a point. Now I'll do it with this one, exactly the same. You can adjust it a little bit if it doesn't come to a point. And this one down. Now you can actually just put it on top straight away, but you start with a bottom piece and you fold it over, not this, because this is the top. So I fold that over, and then the piece it's on beside it, or we're going to go on top of it, fold that over, and then this, fold this over, and then finally this piece goes over too, but I also have to wedge it underneath or in through there. So if I just curl it around, it's kind of easiest to adjust. So that's basically the spinner. I'll just quickly show you how to make it, and I fold it diagonally because it makes it slightly goes to a point. So if I was using origami paper, I need 2 to 3. Because it's a square, I find the easiest way to measure this, and I can use a ruler, but is I do an S fold. That gives me a 1/3. So it's 3 this way, and I only need 2. So I'm going to cut this piece off. Now I could do an S fold on this one too, but I'm just going to put them together and cut them. At the same time, I might do an experiment with those bits in a minute to see if the thinner will work. So folding it in half, that side up, that side down. Same with this. Fold it in half, this side up, this side down. If I put the blue on top, I'll start with the orange. This piece, because it's going to go cover it, go on top. And finally this piece goes underneath that orange. Now, I think it maybe spins. It does spin like that. It's actually quite nice, but I think it spins better when you give it a little bit of a point at the bottom there. Because there's less friction. Okay, my final test is these offcuts from my origami paper. So I'm not folding it in half. That's the only difference. Fold that up. This is quite thin origami paper too. Do this one exactly the same. Put it on top. The blue is on the bottom this time, so start with the blue. Maybe that's not a good size, so fold the blue, orange, blue, and orange under here. If I can get it under. It's not very accurate. Oh, there we go, that's better. The diagonal fold, way thinner than the first one. It actually works really well. Maybe the lighter is better. To do equal. So they're the measurements for a paper spinner.